This is how you can think like the top 1% of Brawl Stars players. Watch closely because all good players follow this exact thought process. And today I'm gonna reveal it to you. It all starts before even opening the game. The first thing that all pros have is a good mentality. Apart from second best, who's just doing it for fun, you never see pro players being toxic to one another. And they have a good reason. It's because they know that mentality is the most powerful thing to succeed. If you had a bad day at school or at work and you load up the game to have a few matches, chances are you're gonna play bad. And as a result, this will make you mad. And that's when the vicious cycle begins. You'll play even worse, lose even more matches, and blame everything to your bad randoms. This happens way too often to every single one of us, and we're too scared to admit it. But guess what? The sooner you admit it, the better for you. You will now know that your mentality is the thing that's causing you to lose, and you will be in the right path to fix it. So every time you lose a few matches, consider taking a break. Take as much time as you need and do something else for a while to reset your mental. And when you do come back, you'll play a lot better. If you had to keep one thing from this entire video, this would be it. Every skill you need to have to win in Brawl Stars comes with time. But to fix your mentality, you need to understand that the only thing you can control is how you play the game. You can't control anything else. So focus on yourself, try identifying your mistakes, and ignore things that are out of your control. But your mentality is not everything. You need to improve your skills too. So the second thing that all good players think when playing Brawl Stars is map awareness. Although it might seem like a simple concept, it takes a lot of practice to actually gain a deeper understanding of the game. But I'll simplify it for you. Map awareness has two forms: understanding and positioning. But what do I actually mean by understanding? The top 1% of players already know the map and the mode they're playing. They've played it a lot of times before, and they understand the positions that each brawler should take, as well as the objective of the mode and how to complete it. They also understand their team's brawlers as well as the enemy. That way they can make informed decisions on how and where they should go with their brawler to have a better chance of winning. But to learn all that, they played with every brawler in every map and completed every objective in every game mode. So your task is to diversify. Stop playing only one mode, especially if this mode is showdown. Play all 3v3s and learn what brawlers are good to complete specific objectives. Also, stop playing only one brawler. I know it's hard to unlock all of them, but once you do unlock one, learn their abilities immediately. If you don't have them unlocked, watch guides on YouTube that explain their abilities and try understanding those brawlers by playing in the training cave and with bots. But once you understand everything, you also need to understand your role in a match. This comes with positioning. Positioning can be separated into two categories: picks and foreseeing. Let's explain picks first. Every map has different key areas where most battles are going down, and most of them require you to have one mid and two lanes. It's as simple as that. The mid brawler supports their lanes and enables them to push up the map, and once the lanes are in position, they create pressure for the rest of the team to go up and try completing the objective. So if your team already picked two lanes, for example, your only choice is to pick a mid. If you don't, no one will be able to compete with the enemy's mid, and you'll get pressured back immediately. But the second step is where most of positioning relies on. Foreseeing is being able to see or realize something before it happens. As a result, this will help you position yourself on the map to take advantage of that situation. If, for example, you see a goal opening and there's no way for your opponents to defend you, that's foreseeing. The more you play Brawl Stars, the better you'll become at identifying those situations. And when you foresee them correctly every time, you'll start to identify them even faster. But see, foreseeing is common in higher elos, and that's because everyone knows what the enemy team wants. It always depends on the mode's objective. So if you can identify those opportunities faster than your opponents, you'll be able to position yourself faster, react faster, and complete the objective easier. But while you might be able to take advantage of these situations, you also need to foresee what the enemy wants to do. This is what every top player thinks, and that's how they read the opponent's moving patterns and make those crazy outplays. If, for example, the enemy team lets you take that left zone in parallel plays because they know that if they push all together, they will get the bottom zone and win, you should foresee that and try defending your zone first instead of immediately going for theirs. I cover everything you need to know about advanced positioning concepts in my Game Sense guide, so I'll leave a link for that at the end of this video. But positioning will only get you this far. If you're playing ranked, your thought process should go beyond that. So the third thing that the top 1% of players think every time is how to draft properly. You might have watched drafting videos in the past, and they might have helped you reach higher ranks, but to take it one step further and maximize your potential, you need to watch closely. Every good draft consists of 3 steps: the meta, the synergy, and the outdraft. The meta is often the first thing you pick. When good players have first pick in their team, they tend to choose one of the strongest brawlers for that specific map and mode. Now, I'm not gonna analyze specific picks, counters, or comps. I already did that in my ranked guide, so I'll leave another link for that at the end of this video. But the thing to understand here is that the best brawlers for a specific map and mode are either banned or picked early on in higher elos. The second step is the synergy. Synergy means brawlers that pair well together. So your team's brawlers need to synergize with one another. If your teammates pick 2 attackers in Heist, for example, you need to pick a good defender to enable them to push up the map and deal damage on the safe. Synergy is really important for drafting. If you screw it up and the enemy brawlers can coordinate better than your team brawlers, you're probably gonna lose. But the last and most crucial step for drafting is the outdraft. Outdrafting your opponents means you pick the right brawlers to counter their comp. There are 2 kinds of outdraft: partial outdraft and complete outdraft. Complete outdraft can only happen when you have the last pick. That way you can see the entire draft and pick the right brawler that both synergizes with your team and completely counters the enemy comp. But this is easier said than done most of the time, especially with almost 100 different brawlers to choose from. So the most common form of outdrafting is the partial outdraft. This usually happens when you don't have last pick, but instead you have 4th and 5th pick. You can only see 2 out of the 3 enemy brawlers. So your goal here is to counter those 2 as well as synergize with your team's first pick. But every good player aims to have as little weaknesses as possible in their comp. They do that by combining the first 2 steps: meta brawlers and synergy. So even if you have last pick, it's hard to do a complete outdraft in higher elos. And even though a complete outdraft is the ideal scenario, both kinds of outdrafts can decide who wins and who loses. These 3 steps, if followed and executed correctly, will put you miles ahead of your competition when it comes to drafting. Mentality, map awareness, and drafting are the 3 main things that every top player thinks when playing Brawl Stars. But even those players forget the 4th one. This 4th thing is so important that pro players do it all the time, and that's what separates them from the competition. But enough fooling around. Start analyzing your replays. It's simple, boring, but also the best and fastest way to get better. If you analyze every replay, you'll be able to spot mistakes you didn't even know you made during the match. And once you understand those mistakes, you'll immediately start looking for ways to never do them again. And that's the 4-step formula to think like a Masters player. Apply everything in your matches and watch your elo skyrocket. But if you made it this far, it means you got a lot of value out of this video. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to motivate me to create more amazing guides like this. But as promised, here's my game sense guide to master map awareness, and here's my ranked guide to master drafting. So pick one and I'll see you there.